This is Severn, the only Triple Crown champion in the UFC history. And you're watching the Sports Courier. You better watch, otherwise I know where you live.
How you doing, everybody? This is Fred Ricciani of thesportscourier.com. I am joined by a true mixed martial arts and professional wrestling legend. He is the UFC Hall of Famer and the only Triple Crown champion in UFC history, Severn. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good there, Frederick.
Now, what brings you here to the MMA and Sports Extravaganza?
Well, I mean, as you can tell by looking around and hearing the noise in the background, it's an entire extravaganza between, they've got bodybuilding contests, they've got powerlifting, they've got strongman contests, they've got, last night they had a Muay Thai event, tonight they're going to have a mixed martial arts event, the list goes on, seminars taking place, celebrities all around the place, so I'm just one of the cast of characters in the mix.
Which is great to see it. Now, last time we spoke, you were about, what, 53, 54 years young? You look about half that age
well,
right now.
Only my hairdresser knows for sure.
Are you still actively competing in MMA right now, or here and there?
I have done 4 matches so far this year.
Oh, wow.
And I'm slated for November, slated for January, December. I've got 4 more matches coming up right now on the current book.
And
so I'm staying busy.
I mean, so how many pro fights overall have you had throughout your entire career?
Well, there's only 4 people in the world that have over 100 matches. I'm one of those cast of characters. Now, the ironic part is I have faced the other 3, have defeated the other 3, and the closest one to my age is 15 years, my junior. I don't think they will be doing it at my ripe old age. But at the same token, you gotta look at what skills do they bring, what skills do I bring. Very, very few athletes you'll see that will ever compete into their 40s in the first place. They'll be a rare individual. I'm a grappler. I've been a wrestler my entire life. So my strength actually is still my grappling, although I work more on my stand-up than any other aspect of my game. But all I do is I strike just enough to get to the clinch, to the takedown, to jamming them up against the cage wall. And my rule of thumb is they will never see the light of day again until I decide to cut them loose. They're in my world.
And seeing of your world, what keeps you going? Why compete at your age? You've accomplished everything. You're Triple Crown champion, UFC Hall of Famer. Why keep going?
Well,
how does your body feel?
I'm good. I'm sound as a pound. Now, my comedic answer would be until they come up with the patch, this 12-step program of how I can wean off my addiction of competition. You know, the reality is I will still continue to compete. I've been pushing for about the last half a dozen years the importance of a master level. When you look at the demographics of who watches mixed martial arts, who watches professional wrestling, the reality is almost all sports, they do have some form of a master's division. MMA does not have that yet. So to have a division of 40-plus-year-old guys going against other 40-plus-year-old guys, that's a very competitive looking match. Typically, to have that 40-year-old against a 20-some-year-old, they're on 2 different planets at that point. So I think that's a demographic that you will soon see. Now, of course, you could have some more comedic type of sponsors, because you might now have, Geritol and Just for Men or something like that.
And what keeps guys like you and Randy Couture going? How are you able to stay competing at a high level, much like Randy Couture, who I believe is now 47? What separates you guys from, say, somebody else that's like, I guess like a good example is UFC 121 weekend, Tito Ortiz, 35 years old, looking at the twilight of his career. How are you and guys like Randy Couture able to still compete at a high level? And even Mark Coleman the last couple of years.
Well, I mean, I think, again, a combination of things. First off, I mean, whatever your genetic makeup is, no one gets to pick out who mom and dad are.
Yeah. So
whatever your genetic structure is, I mean, you already are predestined for whatever. I mean, some people are predestined for, heart conditions or diabetes, things of nature, but that's in their family history. So that's that's one aspect of it, with your genetic makeup. Now, what you do with it. If you do nothing but sit on the couch, well, you will turn into a spud, a couch potato there, and it doesn't matter what your skills are. The skills skills that you bring with it. Most of the people that you mentioned right there, all of who you mentioned right there, what is their background? Heavily amateur wrestling based. That old cliche, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. Those that deal in striking arts predominantly, yes, Chuck Liddell knocked a lot of people out.
But now he's getting knocked out.
Chuck Liddell has been knocked out there right along there with it. So again, living by the sword, dying by the sword. By having that blended background, you know. A lot of people don't understand the grappling arts. You know, they see a guy tapping out and they question why did he tap out, whereas they don't question when a guy gets punched, kicked, or even picked up and bodily slammed. So those are some of the things I think that help in the longevity of careers, like a Mark Coleman, a Randy Couture, and myself. The three of us right now, we are those amateur wrestlers, and you just see that you'll have more of these guys that will stay in the game a lot longer. Plus, they're also used to multiple matches.
Yeah, and you are the only Triple Crown champion in UFC history. However, there's one guy that might challenge that, and that's Vitor Belfort, going for the middleweight title at Super Bowl weekend against Anderson Silva. He's a former UFC heavyweight and light heavyweight champion. What are your thoughts on Vitor's development? I mean, I know he's been around for quite some time now, since the late 90s.
Yeah, actually, he was. I mean, when he first came on the scene, nobody saw the rapid hand power they had. I mean, he was like a machine gun, just like bap, 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 thrown out there, overwhelmed a lot of his opponents with that striking ability. And then also it's like he fell out off the face of the earth. Yeah. And then he kind of re-emerged once again. So, I mean, I like seeing guys that stick around. There's a lot of people that have their, as I refer to, their 5 minutes of claim to fame. And then there's other people that are true proven commodities, and the commodity is of time. If you can stick around a long time. Example, I won my first national title in 1972. So I'm no flash in the pan. I've been around a long time, terrorizing athletes in all types of different sectors of competition.
Yeah, of course. And what are your thoughts right now on the current professional wrestling decline? I mean, MMA, particularly the UFC, is really hurting them in buy rates. You've competed in both pro wrestling and MMA. Legend both held the NWA title twice. Long-time UFC champion. Do you think wrestling is being hurt by MMA, or do you think wrestling's hurting itself by not adapting to the current climate?
Both. I'd say both. Because of sometimes some of these script writers, they stay in the world of fantasy for so long, they start losing any kind of focus on reality. And that's where you got to come up with some better creative ideas. Or maybe you need to go back a little bit and go back to what was the success before. Sometimes I see some things that are taking place that only those in the industry would understand what's taking place, but you're not selling to the people in the industry, you're selling to the public. Yeah. And that's where, again, I just go back to sometimes some of these people need to get out in the real world, mingle with real people, find out really what some of
those. So you think they're too much in a bubble? They're too much like in a little McMahon world?
Well, I mean, that's where, yes. That's one element, but as I said, it's twofold. Yeah. Because of how they're almost kind of hurting themselves, people are getting tired of being fed the same old product here over and over again. So now with the mixed martial arts taking place, they have an alternative viewing product. It's fresh, it's exciting, it's non-stop action, matches are won all kinds of different ways. And that's where, when you look at like Dana White, who is the president of the Ultimate Fighting Championship right there, he uses a lot of the professional wrestling fundamentals. Ultimately,